consider adding our senior center to your one call for all giving this year. We really appreciate it. Today it is my real pleasure for introducing to you our wonderful librarian from the Kitsap Regional Library, Tressa Johnson. And Tressa is going to talk about the local and state libraries, what they have to offer us while we're staying home and safe, and discuss the Library of Congress and the National Archives. Thank you for being here with us today, Tressa. Take it away, sweetie.
Thank you so much for having me. I love talking about the library, and I love the Senior Community Center, so thank you very much. We all remember the time when the library was a physical place where we could go, and longer in the past when there were card catalogs, and when we had a question or we wanted to read something, we had to physically go into this space. And we might have a question for a research question, in which case we would ask the librarian perhaps for some assistance. And bear with me as I use my climbing background, but it was a little bit like an indoor climbing gym, right? You would ask for some help, and the librarian would point you in the right direction. Put your hands here and your toe holds there, and make sure that we stay on track while we're doing our research. And years later, today, there's been this digital explosion, and we've gone from this analog climbing wall to there's this vast digital landscape available to us, and that it's a wonderful thing. There's just an incredible amount out there for those of us who have devices and who have internet access. The world is at our fingertips, quite literally. But that in itself poses a bit of a conundrum, right? There's so much out there. Where do you begin? We can't know what's out there. We can't know what we might be interested in if we don't know what the possibilities are. It's like when we first, you buy your first mobile phone or smartphone, and you think, well, I can make phone calls. What else can I do? You really don't know what its capabilities are unless someone tells you, because we don't even know what to ask, right? So, I have a limited amount of time, so this is my training, right? And how do you do research in this environment? I get very excited about it, but we have a limited amount of time, so I've limited the topic a little bit to talking about some new services that your local library has, as well as some other libraries that have services that you may not be aware of. But before I get to that, I do want to touch on a couple of things that are they're a little bit off topic, but they're relevant. And the first is to recognize that our local library, what we know of as the Bainbridge Library, what I consider, one of the centers of our community, has its place in our community due to the partnership of two very important organizations. And one is Kitsap Regional Library, which is supported through our property tax dollars. They provide the staffing, they provide the computers, the books, everything inside that building is provided by Kitsap Regional Library with the use of our tax dollars. The second organization is Bainbridge Public Library. It is a nonprofit organization that owns the building and the grounds. They paint the buildings, they fix the bathrooms, they pay the bills. It's these two organizations working together effectively have created this wonderful place that we just call our Bainbridge Library. The second thing I want to address is I just want to briefly touch on the three questions that I get almost every day. And just in case any one of you have those questions, I want to address them right away and get them kind of off the plate. The first one is, when is the library going to reopen?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the short answer is I don't really know. I think it's going to be quite some time, actually. Earlier in October, Governor Inslee issued a proclamation that allowed public libraries to open their buildings in a very limited basis. And our director, Jill Jean, started the process of getting us ready to do just that. And the plan was, at least for our library, for our location, we would have 4 computer stations that would be available for 30-minute time increments. Now, given that with each person coming in, we would outline our safety precautions and tell them what how we would behave and how we would like for them to protect us and the other people. Then they get settled at the computer, they have their half hour, then they gather their things, they leave, then staff clean the station. I mean, it's very involved. We figured at that point we could serve probably 12 people a day. So very, very limited. And I expect that when we do begin to reopen, it will be in a very, stages, at very small stages. Unfortunately, after we started planning that process, the good news is we're ready for that to begin. However, at that time, the numbers in Kitsap County started to grow. And Jill Jean, our director, said to us that as long as Kitsap County's numbers remained below 75 per 100,000, that we would open on that limited basis. That would that level, the Kitsap Public Health District called it a medium risk, I believe. I just checked yesterday; we were at 198 per 100,000. So I do think it's going to be a little bit. We all want to open as soon as we can safely. But the next question that I get every day is, are you accepting donations? Yes, we are. The Friends of the Library, they are accepting donations. If you go to the children's entrance off of high school there, Monday through Saturday, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. You can magazine. They're now accepting magazines. They weren't for a while, and books and DVDs. They Monday through Saturday, 10 to 1. If you leave something there outside of those hours, we learned the hard way that those items will get ruined by our sprinkler system.
Yes.
So. The third question I get, and this is the last one I'm going to address before I really jump in, is what about book sales? When are the book sales going to start? The good news is there are book sales going on now. You can buy for $5 a bag of donated books. You can do that either by going to the White Tent between Monday through Saturday between 10 and 1, $5 a bag, or you can go to their website, bainbridgepubliclibrary.org. And you can pay online and ask for something specific. So I was there the other day and made a $5 donation and asked for large print books. You can ask for mysteries or nonfiction or whatever you want. So those are happening. Book sales, as we remember them in person, will resume once the library is open to the public. Okay. So those are the three questions I get every single day that I am at the library. So I just wanted to address those quickly. So I am going to present. There we go. I'm going to present my screen.
Perfect.
All right.
Yay.
And let's see, I've got my cheat sheet here. Make sure I don't forget anything. So the first thing I want to do is show you how to get a library card, because for those of you who don't have library cards, I trust that at the end of this talk, you will want to get one. So I'm going to let you know right off the bat. And while we're not giving physical library cards, you can get what we call an online card. 12 characters as a library card number, actually 6 letters and 6 numbers, and you set your own password. So from our website, on the right-hand side of the screen, on the right-hand side of this black menu bar, you'll see Visit. When you hover over Visit, we've got Get a Card right there. So if you don't have a card, you don't have a number, you can get one there and access everything on our website. So I want to show you some of our new services that we have started offering since we closed in March. And the first one is in this same place, just up here, Curbside Printing. This is really exciting because you can, every day, you can print 100 pages for free at no charge.
What?
Yes,
Wow.
color, black and white, one-sided, two-sided, 100 pages a day. And you have 2 options. You don't need a library card to do this. This is the other thing. You don't need a library card to get some things printed. You can go here to the Curbside Printing that I have on my screen and upload the job that you would like to have printed. Or if you have a thumb drive at home, you can put the document on the thumb drive and then take it physically to the library. Once you've got the, and we'll print it for you. It's really really very easy, but I don't think very many people know about it. I think if more people knew about it, more people would be taking advantage of it. So, Curbside Printing. The next new service I want to point out, I'm at the top of the page here under Contact. We have Book a Librarian. So this is a new service. If you have a question about, well, anything really, if you have a question about downloading, about library services, if you wanted some help doing some genealogical research, or wanted to know where you could do that, what was available in the area, you can. I think I think the library has us limiting Book a Librarian sessions to 45 minutes, but I've met with people for longer than that. We can, via email, on the phone, using Zoom, whatever you're most comfortable with, we'll find a time that works for you. You can request a specific librarian that you know, and they don't have to be based at the Bainbridge Public Library either. They can be anywhere in the county. So if you were to ask a question, if you were a small business owner, I would actually refer you to my colleague who works at the Silverdale branch, because that is her area of expertise. So I'm really excited about that service. Next, on the left-hand side of the screen under Read, Watch, and Listen, we have 2 really exciting new services. The first one is book bundles. And you do need a library card to do this. You do not need a library card for Book a Librarian. So you don't need a library card. Book bundles, you do need a library card. Book bundles are intended to replicate browsing. So what you can do is, you're not really sure what you want, but you know that you want some holiday craft books for the holiday that you celebrate. So you can fill out this form that we have and say, yeah, this is a holiday I celebrate, and I would like some books, food, crafting, decorating, even some fiction. I would love that. So then we at the library will go to the stacks and we'll just kind of pull a couple things and we'll put it in a bundle. We'll let you know that it's ready, and then you can come pick that up. At the Bainbridge Library, we've decided to expand it a little bit, and the staff are creating book bundles just for fun. When you go to the library to pick up your holds, you can check out a book bundle. So there's a little sign outside the door. If you don't see it, you should ask a staff person. So some examples, I created one called Check It Out, where all the books took place in Czechoslovakia. I have done a couple of book bundles that were like small gems, so books under 200 pages. I created one, mysteries that take place outside of the United States. Other people have just gotten really creative, very, very fun. So it's just a nice way of getting something that you didn't expect.
Sounds wonderful. Oh my gosh.
You know, people are loving it, and the people that use it tend to come back again and again. But I think this is a service because it's new, people aren't really aware of it yet. But I know when I create book bundles, when people fill out the online form and I create book bundles, I've started to recognize the names. So, you know, I'll email, your book bundle is ready. And I'll say, I hope you really like these. I had a lot of fun with this one, you know.
So Tressa, I have a question.
Yes.
So how do those get checked out to that person?
So when you come to pick up the book, and it works in the same way where you can schedule an appointment, you can call us or schedule an appointment online, or you can just show up and say, I don't have an appointment, but I know I have a book bundle. We'll check them out to you at that time.
Wow.
Does that answer your question?
So it's specific to the person then. I was thinking about your little ones that you've done, like the under 200 pages type thing. How would that get checked out, for example?
Okay, so we have outside of the door when we open, we put lists of all the book bundles, pre-made book bundles that we have. And you can say, ooh, I like that one that says small gems under 200 pages. And they will grab it for you and check it out for you right then and there. So you can take it home immediately.
Fantastic.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, Carolyn Hart also had another question. It says, any chance that in the near future, we'll be able to use a picture of the library card on a phone or check out books, to check out books?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. That's a good question, Karen.
Okay.
I'm gonna write that one down.
Yeah. Right.
Tressa,
Yes.
I used to do that when I was in California being granny nanny. And it was really easy because I didn't have to take anything except I had both hands free for the kid. And the phone was in my pocket. So
to check out the book, you would just
flash it.
That is fabulous.
Mhm.
Right now we're really doing a cardless service. So we figure if you show up with an appointment that you are the person that you say you are. So we're checking them out using our system. But I really like that for when we do open, it makes a lot of sense. As you said, for someone, particularly with a young one, and your hands or just for a book lover, her hands are full. And so to be able to do that, I thank you for sharing that.
Great idea. Absolutely. Okay.
So over here on the left, underneath book bundles, we have Book Match. And you do need a library card for this service also, because you actually, do you? No, I don't think you do, because we don't check out items to you. What you do, this is for, you're not sure what you want to read, but you know that you love Louise Penny's mysteries and you want to have something kind of like that. So you go to Book Match and you fill out the form and you say, you know, I loved Louise Penny. I can't get enough of her. I don't really like Alexander McCall Smith. It just doesn't really rock my boat. He's okay, but he's all right. The librarian on the other end will take all the information that you give, anything you like and don't like, both are equally helpful, and they will come up with 5 titles that they think you might enjoy.
We're having a little buffering.
And they'll send that to you, and you can put them on hold. Pardon me? Pardon me?
We were buffering. Could you kind of go back a little bit? The internet was kind of buffering.
Oh, I apologize.
Oh,
okay.
Not your fault.
So when did I start to fade out a little there?
I think it was about how you, it was right after if you're interested in two authors.
Okay.
Okay.
So when you fill out the form, include books or authors that you enjoyed and some that you maybe didn't enjoy. All of that information is very helpful. The librarian on the other end will look at all of that information, and then they'll send you a list of 5 titles that they think you will enjoy for your next read. So then you can put them on hold, or even better, you can call me at the library. I'm there 3 days a week in the morning. Or you can talk to one of my colleagues too, but and put the books on hold and read them that way. So this is a really good way when book bundles, you're not really sure, you don't have anything specific in mind. Book matches, I really want something very specific. And, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, and then they'll send you some titles. So that is a really great thing.
Wonderful.
And the last thing that I want to mention that is new at the library is actually under research right here. And I'm going to go ahead and click on research. And I'm going to scroll down just a little bit. Here we go, artist works for libraries. This is with your library card number or your online library card character. These are music lessons. So these are well-known musicians that Daryl Anger, Mike Marshall, Katrina Lichtenstein, you can learn how to sing, drums, mandolin, fiddle, trombone, just any instrument. You can take lessons with them, ukulele. It is just a fabulous service. I've really loved it, really enjoyed it. So that is a new database for us. Since I'm here, something that's going to change, I'm going to go just to the left of research to download, because something is going to change next week. Right now, we have magazines. They're offered through a company called RB Digital. And if any of you are currently checking out ebooks and audiobooks from the library, you might use the app called Libby. And pretty soon, all of our magazines are going to move to Libby. So we have 3,500 magazine titles, and you'll be able to check them out using that Libby app. I'm really excited about that. And there's no hold period. So you can check out as many as you want. You're not going to have to wait for any title. You can get back issues as far back as 3 years, as long if they're available, depending on when the publisher joined the program. So with that, I'm just going to remind you, book a librarian. If you have any questions, I'd love to talk to you about it. Okay, so 2 other libraries that I'm really excited to talk to you about. National Archives, and you can see up here in the address bar, archives.gov, and it is a safe site. You can tell from the lock there. I love the National Archives. I mean, I know I'm a librarian and I, enjoy books and documents, but this is just really, really fascinating. America's founding documents, so you can see scanned copies of the original Bill of Rights. And actually, I guess there are 15 copies that are considered original, but really, really great. Up here on the upper right, you'll see blogs, and I'm going to click there. So I want to show you, look at all of these blogs that they offer. Okay, it's amazing. Over on the left, Pieces of History. This is a really fun one. They'll send out, once a week they just send out some information about some item that they have in their archives. And I'm not really a history person, but I love this. I just think it's so much fun. I'm going to go back to their main page by clicking up here on the left, National Archives. And I'm going to scroll down. Oh, this isn't actually what I was thinking of, but I do want to show you this. I was just looking at this before we started. This is a blog post, a very long blog post about everything that not everything, but a great deal that they have about the Christmas tree, the annual Christmas tree at the White House. They even have from 1964, I think, they have a letter of complaint that there was a 50-foot Sitka spruce cut down for the Kennedy family, and what were we thinking? And I love that they saved that. Anyway, really interesting. But what I wanted to show you down here actually was information for citizen archivists. This is a great program that you can interact with from home. I'm going to click here. You can, they provide training, and you can sign up as a transcriber. That wasn't planned, by the way that came on the screen right when I said that. But you can transcribe original documents. So for an example, I think last year or 2 years ago, they had a huge program on transcribing all of Abe Lincoln's letters. So people all over the country were signed up, and they got training, and they got to, see scanned images, of course, of Abe Lincoln's letters, and we're transcribing them so that the rest of us can use them more easily. Just fascinating. So if you are a history buff, that is something that you might really enjoy doing.
Wow.
And the last site that I wanted to share, I know I could talk about this for hours, so I feel like I'm rushing through. But, the Library of Congress. So our current Librarian of Congress is Dr. Carla Hayden, and she is just phenomenal. There have been some incredible changes at the Library of Congress in the last 5 or so years. And where do I even begin? So this carousel in the front where you can see, I'm going to click on this arrow on the right where you can kind of click through all of these images. Actually, let's see, I think we can see that a little better. I wanted to show you a couple of things. First of all, this I did not know until couple months ago. If you click here, you can access videotaped musical performances, which I didn't even know. Yeah, it's incredible. So all of these, of course, in this case, it's Beethoven. You can listen to these events. So here is one. String quartet. You can listen to them for free at home, which is amazing. Oh, I'm coming up here again to the upper left to click and to go back to the home page. Here we go. So live musical performances. Here, engage with the Library of Congress. This is a gold mine. A gold mine, pardon me. I'm going to click here. When I'm not working, I spend a lot of time at the Library of Congress. They have some incredible events that are available to us. So grab the mic. Jason Reynolds, he's one of my current favorite poets. He is just amazing. Yeah, you know him. Oh, he's just so great. So here they have a program called By the People. You can see this on the right-hand side for document detectives, be a virtual volunteer. And this is similar to the one at the National Archives where you can do some transcribing, reviewing items, and the transcriptions that you do at both at the Library of Congress and at the National Archives. What that does is it helps researchers, you're putting into the the software, you're interpreting it for the software. So if I'm looking for a topic, if you have transcribed all of Abraham Lincoln's original letters, then I can actually search those letters because the computer is able to read your transcription. So it's pretty great. I'm going to scroll down a little bit more. For music lovers, an online event. So last month, was it last month in November? They had Inuit throat singing.
Oh,
Have you ever seen that?
yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
Oh my goodness, it's just incredible. They have, it's just a wide variety of musicians and performers, and just amazing. For book lovers, over here on the left, poetry and literature, the National Book Festival. There are some incredible programs here. It's just an incredible resource.
Oh, there's Dave Pilkey. I love Dave Pilkey, the children's book.
Yes, there you go, Dave Pilkey at home.
Yeah,
Yep.
how fun. Oh,
They've
my
got a
goodness.
playlist of videos. It is really fun. There's an incredible amount here. So that's my down and dirty library tour.
Oh,
So
my goodness.
Let me stop sharing here.
Just
So
to take
that,
over our lives.
it could.
Okay.
So that was my mini tour into the digital landscape of.
I am so glad that's on tape.
Yeah, there's so much to get to. And
Gotta go back
I know.
by little bit, Tressa. My goodness, wonderful. Thank you.
There's the curse of the librarian is that there are so many exciting things to share that you really have to pick and choose what you're going to share. You can actually, because there are so many services that digital services that public libraries virtually around the country, they are contracted with the same company. So for example, ebooks, virtually every public library gets their ebooks from the same company. So now that we are not physically going into the library, many libraries are handing out library cards, digital library cards. So you can get a library card at Bellingham Public Library and check out their ebooks.
Uh-oh.
I just thought of something I forgot.
What?
I'm going to share it really quickly.
Again. Okay.
I'm going to share it really quickly. That's right. So, as I was saying, other library systems contract with the same companies. So here we have Kitsap Regional Library. We offer the two services that I wanted to point out: Overdrive, which is ebooks and audiobooks, and then Freegal, which is a music service. You download 5 pieces of music a week for free, and they're yours until you delete them. Well, if you get a library card from the Bellingham Public Library, whose director is our past manager at the Bainbridge Library, Rebecca Judd, if you get a library card from their service, you can check out additional Overdrive items. Also, they give you access to a movie service called Canopy.
There you go, Carolyn. That answers your question.
If you get a card from Pierce County, you get access to even more Overdrive items. Snow Isle, they have access to not only Canopy, but also Hoopla.
Wow.
Whoa.
And then Whatcom County, they offer Freegal, and Canopy also. So the value, even if you only read ebooks, you most likely you're not going to be reading 85 titles at any one time. But the benefit of having cards in the different systems is, you know, that you may have a hold on a title, an ebook at Kitsap Regional Library, but it's no aisle, there's no waiting list, right? So it just gives you a whole another realm of possibility. So
this is huge.
it is huge. I'm glad I remembered. It was worth the extra few minutes, I think.
Oh, Carolyn has another question. Are those
Yes.
systems offering reciprocal cards? I know you can get a Seattle card and they have Canopy.
Yes, yes, those are reciprocal cards. So Seattle Public Library, I have heard, someone told me recently that they were able to get an online card from Seattle Public Library without physically going to the library. They're not advertising that on their website, which is why I didn't include it in that list. But those are all reciprocal cards. So just as Kitsap Regional Library patrons can get cards from those libraries, they can get cards at Kitsap Regional Library. And this is a program that has been going, all of the county libraries in the state of Washington have had reciprocal agreements since ebooks first came on the scene in 2007. Usually under normal circumstances, you would have to physically go to the library and show them your Kitsap card as well as a photo ID.
Mm-hmm.
But now they are giving you at least temporary access online.
Right.
So it's very exciting.
Very exciting. In these times, yep.
And how do we do that? Just go to that library?
Yep, you go to that website, get a card. For Kitsap, it's under visit. So visit or services, different libraries use different terms, but you can fill out their form.
Cool. Very wonderful.
It's really, they make it very, I mean, public libraries share the mission. We share a mission, right? We want everyone to have access to the materials that they would like to access. And so this is a wonderful example of us working together to make sure that that happens, recognizing any, you know, financial stresses that we may, that you know, if we were to provide everything, just one of us, the financial burden would be huge. So we're trying to work together so that all of our patrons can get what they want and need.
Yes. Oh, so fabulous. Yeah, I hope that a lot of Islanders see this video because it is just full of wonderful information. Just thank you so much.
It is, there are few things I enjoy more than talking about the library. So thank you. I'm so thrilled to be asked. And I would be thrilled if you called the library and wanted to ask questions or just say hello too.
Yeah. So. Say hi, Tressa.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Are there any other questions? Any comments? Just, you know, we love you, and and we just you know, want to just thank you so much, and the Bainbridge Library for all the services that you provide, and also, you know, we need to support you also. We need to support our library. So
I have a comment.
Oh, Lynn, yes.
I do exactly what you talked about at a different library. I used to live in Colville, and I have my library card, Libby, and I have in Colville, I put that in my book, and I just ordered a book now. It was a 10-week waiting list, News of the World, 10-week waiting list in Kitsap. And I went to the Colville Library, and I got it within 3 days.
Oh, see, there you go.
Perfect example. And there, you know, Lynn, one of my favorite examples about that is the King County Public Library, which is not Seattle. Seattle Public Library is actually a city library. King County provides services for the rest of the county, and they are a very large library. They have 50 branches, I think, 50 locations. They're number one in North America in terms of downloading every year. They're number two in North America behind Toronto.
Oh, Toronto.
Number one in the United States. And they have got really a very large budget. So a couple of years ago, the book won several prizes. All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr.
Mhm.
So we had, I think we had 10 copies. King County had 1,000 copies. So they had a very long waiting list too, 300 odd people or something. I can't quite remember that number, but I do remember the 1,000 copies. But those digital waiting lines, they really go quickly. But it gives you an idea of how, you know, there's disparity between libraries in terms of what our funding is. Again, we work together because we want people to have access to it. So Lynn, thank you for making that comment.
That's happened to me 2 or 3 times that I can get it from Colville and I can't get it from here. In fact, one book I got in Colville, they didn't even have it in Kitsap. The title wasn't even in the catalog.
So there are, thank you for bringing that up too, because something interesting, you know, with paper books, libraries can buy any title that you can buy, right? We can, any DVDs or books or CDs, anything you see in the store, we can buy. But digital items, ebooks, are different. The publisher decides, they have a couple places where they can make decisions. They decide which libraries they're going to work with, first of all. And then they decide which titles they're going to let you have the option of purchasing. So in the beginning, when ebooks first became available to libraries, because of course at first they weren't even available to libraries, when they first became available to libraries, King County library system, because they were so large and because they quickly jumped to the forefront in terms of the number of patrons who were downloading, there were more publishers working with King County than any other library in our area. So we were encouraging people to get King County library cards because they literally had access to more. The things have evened out a little bit with publishers, but there's something little known, another a little tip of using ebooks, particularly if you have Libby. Now you can't do this via the Libby app, but if you go via your browser, if you go to the KRL website and then go to the ebook catalog, you can request a purchase. So, and there's a certain place you go on the website to do that. And if the title doesn't show up, then you know the publisher isn't giving Kitsap, they're not offering it to us. We can't buy it. They're not letting us buy it. But if you see the title and we haven't purchased it, you can actually request that we make that purchase. And it's a pretty quick turnaround, usually within a week. We make a decision about whether or not we're going to buy it. So book a librarian and I can show you how to do that. Again, it's not available through the Libby app, but it is available through your browser.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah.
So, well, you know, we do live in they consider the Seattle area like the most literate area in the whole United States. Yeah. I mean, us competing for books, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
So anyhow. Well, thank you so much, Tressa. We're going to let you go back to taking care of all of us like you do every day, and making sure that, you know, we have something in our hands to read. So.
Well, thank you for inviting me. Anytime, always happy to, I love the Senior Community Center. So thank you very much, Karen.